You know, it's that time of the week again.
It is Monday Night Mission with Dan, Variety, Hotty, and
the man that has nearly blown the roof off of every major arena, not just around the country, but around the globe. The man that led Men on a Mission to Tag Team Championship Gold in the World Wrestling Federation and rocked MSG like it's never been rocked before at WrestleMania 10. I don't know how his name can only have 5 letters, but he is the man on a mission, Oscar. Brand new Monday Night Mission begins now.
there are so many missions.
Wrestling fans, on Royal Rumble Saturday, January the 29th, things are getting a little dirty. That's right. Joining us live in studio for the very first time will be our longtime friend, the legendary Zeb Coulter, a.k.a. Dirty Dutch Mantel. Dutch will be with us all weekend for Wrestling Insider tapings, Patreon watch-alongs, live episodes, and cyber autograph signings. Plus, Dutch will be watching the Royal Rumble with us. For more information and autograph photos, head on over to BostonWrestling.com. Wrestling fans looking for the perfect holiday gift? Discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts are on sale now. Join WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash Demolition, The Wild Berzerker, and more 1980s legends to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Meet the wrestling icons up close and personal in an autograph and photo fan fest. Then get ready as the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow take part in a night of white-hot in-ring action. Discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for a limited time at bostonwrestling.com. Join us for a professional wrestling reunion decades in the making, April the 16th. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, WWE Monday Night Raw in Toledo, Ohio is now a thing of the past. You know what that means. It's 11 p.m. It's time for a brand new Wrestling Insider's Monday Night Mission. Before we are joined by the host with the most fans, we want to update you on a few things. Send out some positive thoughts to the Berzerker, John Nord. He took ill this weekend. Unfortunately, he was not with us. We hope to have him with us really soon. I'm shooting for maybe even the first week of February, because coming this weekend, beginning Royal Rumble Saturday, January the 29th, Sunday the 30th, and Monday the 31st, we're going to be joined live in studio by future Hall of Famer Dirty Dutch Mantel, a.k.a. Zeb Coulter. He was, I guess, a peer of Oscar at one point. As Uncle Zebekiah, he managed the Blue Brothers. Maybe we could talk to Oscar about that. Don't forget, fans, in addition to Zeb Coulter, we're trying to bring you Season 2 of Marty Jannetty's Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty series. We have a prize and experience-filled Indiegogo campaign ongoing as we speak. You can find the link to the Indiegogo in the premier chat box on the right side of the screen, the description box below, and across our social media platforms. If every fan donated $1, we'd hit the goal within a couple of days, and we'd have Marty back here in studio quick. Let's keep Marty working and bring the series back to life as his no-holds-barred look at the 80s and 90s continues. Our Patreon streaming service continues to grow. You get the early full screen, ad-free access to all of our weeknight Wrestling Insider Shoot interviews. You get access to the archives with over 300 full-length shoot interviews, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library that's been seen by millions online, millions more on The Howard Stern Show, Patreon exclusives, watch-alongs, my own new semi-regular podcast that's coming, and so much more. Join the Boston Wrestling Patreon family, La Familia, at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. It's about the cost of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. The Boston Wrestling eBay store is open for business 24/7 fans. Great merchandise from superstars of every era. Find the link in the description box below, as well as clicking the store button on bostonwrestling.com. As we prepare to deal with this brutal winter here in Boston, we've been dealing with single-digit temperatures. I was happy to escape and find Orlando, Florida, and visit some friends with WWE. We are now less than 12 weeks away, fans, as all roads lead to Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts, Saturday night, April the 16th, as we bring you MWF Soul Survivor 10, Back to the 80s, featuring Jake the Snake Roberts, Axon Smash Demolition, the Berzerker, and a host of other 1980s icons. We have a VIP exclusive Q&A session, autographs, pose photos, and then the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will light up the ring like Times Square on New Year's Eve. Again, discount VIP packages and tickets are on sale now. Get the best seats in the house at bostonwrestling.com. If you could, folks, as you enjoyed tonight's Wrestling Insiders Monday Night Mission, please like, share, and subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up here on the YouTube channel. Share the link with friends. Subscribe for over 2,000 free videos. I'm telling you, we're working our asses off 7 days a week to try and give you guys the best content with these historical videos, current event videos, live wrestling, and so much more. With that said, folks, without further ado, he is the host with the most. He is the man that nearly blew the roof off of every major arena around the United States, around the globe. He led Men on a Mission to Tag Team Championship gold in 1994. We're talking about the one, the only, the O, the S, the C, the A, the R, the Vice President of Boston Wrestling, MWF, Man on a Mission himself, Oscar. Oscar, a pleasure to have you with us as always down in Hotlanta, even though from what I saw in the weather, it wasn't so hot this week.
Nah, it ain't. And I'm looking at this memo from upstairs. I don't know what to talk about since I got a letter from the higher-ups. We can't talk about a damn thing, bro. I don't know.
Oh, wait, you're a little hot under the collar about that. Yeah, the cease and desist about the trespass.
And I'm like, what the... What? First... Woo! You can start. I need to calm down.
All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. Last week, I thought we had a really interesting episode, Oscar. We had one of the newcomers to the organization join us. Outside of wrestling, we talked a little bit about Martin Luther King, but more, I guess, I shouldn't say relevant. Martin Luther King will always be relevant. But right now, do you have any updates on what's going on with Mo?
Yeah, he was up and around a few days ago, eating a sandwich, drinking some punch. He moved from the ICU bed to the chair. I haven't gotten an update in the last day and a half, but he was doing better when I last got an update, and it's really, really encouraging. So.
I'm sorry.
You know, just keep your prayers and your positive thoughts, and you know, he gonna pull through.
Well,
I'm not gonna be the last Men on a Mission member left.
Well, let's
tell y'all that now.
Let's not think that way at all about you or him. We'd like to have both of you around for a long, long time. How are his spirits, though? Do they seem to be up now that he was at least able to get out of the bed and sit in a chair? And, as someone that spent a lot of time in the hospital myself from, the incident that I had, I know that can mean, sometimes the small things can mean a lot.
Yeah, no. Also, the report I got is he was saying some pretty humorous stuff that had his girlfriend laughing, she said. So that's a real good sign. It's just with his oxygen depletion, and they haven't heard from his kidney doctors in quite some time. So they're concerned about that because they don't know, quite where they're at with that. So we have a lot of unanswered questions, about the future of his recovery. But as soon as we get those answers, I'll be more than glad to email you, send you a message so that you can share with the fans on any of the numerous shows that you're doing. And speaking of shows, you have a podcast now?
I'm sorry?
I read someplace about you having a podcast.
Well, just to try and keep the fans up to date on maybe some of the behind-the-scenes happenings of what we do here in the world of Boston wrestling, and to try and entice them to sample our world-renowned Patreon streaming service that costs about as much as a cup of coffee over at Starbucks every month. Yeah, I'm going to do a little Patreon exclusive a few times per month. I think it'll be fun. I don't know. There's a free sample on the YouTube as we speak. I know a lot of people can't stand me, but there's some diehard Boston wrestling fans that actually do enjoy the nonsense that comes from my mouth. And it's always passionate and it's always honest, if nothing else. Maybe sometimes it crosses the line. Maybe sometimes it goes a little bit too far. You know how I get when I get wound up. But yeah. Nothing over the top. I certainly don't think it's going to hurt the viewership of any of our other shows, believe me. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Well, I'll send you a private link if you want to hear this.
Yeah, please. It'll be the next
Maybe
thing.
A little shooting. Because I tell you, there's one situation you don't even know about that's popped up yet. Oh my dear Lord. Oh boy, do I got to tell you about this one when I get a chance to sit down at the computer. I've been here since 8 o'clock.
No. Before we go,
Nope.
we get off the air, you're going to let me know about it.
I don't have time because I'm trying to edit 2 shows at once. You know me, I'm a master typer, but I mean...
I'll have you tell it right here, right now.
You're
take your pick.
Honestly, I think after you hear it, you'd probably tell me it would be for the best for us not to discuss it right now. But I'll tell you this, you know what? If I'm wrong, we can tell the whole story next week. How about that? We'll give the fans a cliffhanger.
I'll put it like this. Tell a story, but don't mention no names.
It's a whole legal thing.
Don't mention no names.
I think it would be impossible not to. Like I said, I'll tell you the story as it is privately, and if you think it's something that we can share, we'll give the fans a cliffhanger for next week.
All right, well, cliffhanger for next week.
It's like the old Batman series back in the with Cesar Romero.
Big story, funny story. Fans, you gotta wait.
It's not funny, believe me. Oh, no. There's no humor involved in this. I was literally on fire. Coming back to Marathi Hill after being rerouted through St. Louis, Missouri to get home to Boston at 1 o'clock in the morning and open that package up. I was absolutely bullshit, Oscar. I'll tell you that much.
Wait. When did you say Louis going back to Marathi Hill? When did this happen?
This would have been Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It was about 1 a.m.
When did you go somewhere?
I had to take care of some business for one of the talk shows. So, again, I've been going nonstop with no sleep at this studio at 8 a.m., going home the night of the watch-alongs at 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah, I might not make it to April 16th, Oscar. Forget about Mo. Are you there? Oh, all right. Now,
Don't
put
talk
a
like
smile
that.
on my face. Is Dreamy Mimi making you some nice breakfasts?
Man, okay.
What do you got
Dreamy
now?
Mimi news.
There's news about Dreamy. Now, how did the party go?
The party went great. I mean, we had we almost got in trouble because Randy was on doing a show. Her and her cohorts was loud. I said something about her cohorts getting loud, and we almost had a major fight about that in front of everybody, including you. You was getting ready to be on the big husband and wife fight we was getting ready to have. But you know what? I was a big man about it, and I walked away from it. And I actually didn't really address it until this morning. So that just goes to show how much I've matured over the years because, yeah, we was getting ready to have a knockdown drag out that was going to ruin that whole weekend. But I didn't go there. I didn't do it. So even I'm patting myself on the back.
Well, I know you put together that whole endeavor for Mimi with a lot of love for her birthday. Did she enjoy it?
Yeah, no, she said it was the best birthday party. She's had some big parties over the years. On every milestone age that she's reached, she's had rented a hall and gotten, the balloons and catered food and, and had a party. But this intimate weekend with just a few of her friends, and then my son coming in from New York, and we had the Mimi Dream House going. I mean, they laughed and cried, and we had my son cooked. My son is going to culinary school.
Oh, wow.
So
where in New York does he live, Oscar?
He lives up in Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers, okay. Home of Tommy Dreamer, I believe.
Yeah, between him and my mother-in-law, who's just a master chef, they were in the kitchen getting the catfish and the macaroni and cheese and, all that other stuff together. And we went out to lunch at this nice swanky soul food restaurant. And, and it just, and these were her bestest buddies that came in.
I'm glad you guys had such a great time.
And yeah, it was a really good blast.
And you said what was an Airbnb?
Yep, it was Airbnb.
Well, good. Well,
now here's the good news though. The fun
we
part.
got good news. All right.
I got a call from the record company.
Really?
About an hour ago.
Wow. Today?
And yeah.
Wow.
And the record company told me to prepare for not only a spectacular financial year, but they told me to prepare in the next coming week or 2 weeks or so for a bigger bonus than the biggest bonus that I got last year.
Why the hell can't I get a call like that?
So, so I'm gonna.
All I get is bad news.
Yeah, but I'm giving you the scope of what's happening.
All right.
I'm getting ready to look into moving from this apartment to a nice house, and also getting her dream car, which is a Lexus X5 or whatever the hell it is.
Wow.
And so yeah.
Maybe are you talking about a BMW X5?
No, the Lexus. Oh, the Lexus QR.
Okay.
Q5.
BMW X5 is one of my favorites. And I mean one of my favorites. But anyway, that's a different story for a different time.
But also on top of that, she is also looking at actually getting a job herself to put the cream on the crop. They offered her a job as an administrative assistant here down in Atlanta for like $25, $30 an hour.
She's not going to do hair anymore?
She's been stopped doing hair. She retired from doing hair.
Oh, she when you guys moved, she officially retired.
Yeah, she retired from doing hair.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nowhere.
I didn't know that part. Oh.
She ain't had a job. She ain't did a job. She ain't had a job in a year. She ain't worked on none of 2021.
What's Mimi doing every day other than making you your big breakfasts?
Making me my big breakfast and concentrating on. She's been concentrating on ministry. The church is going. She does.
Well, that's true. Yeah. You know, I've seen some of her great videos on on YouTube. No, not YouTube. Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah. She's doing a lot of great work.
Yeah, I didn't know you was following. So she's been concentrating on that, but yeah, they offered her a full-time job working downtown Atlanta, doing administrative stuff. So that just puts the icing on financial cake. So, you know, and I want to tell everybody something. It's not a matter of bragging or being facetious about it. It's a thing to where, you know, I have very, very humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before the WWE, I grew up in the projects of Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was, you know, when I look back on it, you know, going to the store with food stamps and being on public assistance, and you know, my parents doing the best that they could with what they had to work with. Jobs were scarce. You know, the economy was really, really shaky. It wasn't the Great Depression, but I mean, especially during the Ronald Reagan era. Ronald Reagan era for Black people at that time was, I mean, you know, you had to rob in order to make ends meet. If you were not a decent person.
Wow, I never knew that.
My parents were decent, so you know, you had to get on public assistance to get the kind of help that you needed to consolidate any incomes that you was doing, you know, that you were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And so the point being that, you know, from that beginning to what I've been through in life that has been, you know, spectacular up until the season that I'm in now, you know, I thank God for it. You know, I'm really humble about it. And I'm happy not to brag about it, but to share it with you, that you can come from any place and life can get better. You know,
it's a very inspirational story.
You know, I mean, I'm not sitting on a hill in a mansion. I may never get there, but at least I'm in a place where I'm comfortable and in a nice, quiet neighborhood where I can be proud to get up in the morning and go outside and just, you know, just do the things that I really want to do.
I don't think
that's just a really good place to be.
Not for nothing, though, Oscar. I know you have a problem with those set of stairs at the apartment. I don't know if you could climb the mountain anymore.
You know what? Good news.
Good news. What do we got?
I am negotiating those stairs a lot better now than I was when I first got here.
Well, they say, you know what, after 3 weeks, just about anything, it becomes second nature to you. So maybe now that you've been climbing those 3 sets of stairs for a couple months now, you know, you're getting probably losing some weight, too, in the process. Your cardio is probably improving for when you and Mimi have a little private time, so to speak.
Yeah, I used to get up halfway up the first set of stairs.
Yeah.
And I would have to catch my breath. But now I'm getting up the first. See, so the way it's laid out, it's a big set of stairs that's first. Then it's 2 smaller sets. Now I'm able to get up the big set and then the smaller set before I have to take a breather. And then getting up that last step is nothing.
Well,
so, you know, and I couldn't do that before.
When you do that big first set of stairs, you should play the Rocky theme song and
you know,
really motivate yourself.
I thought about exercising to that because I used to walk. I used to walk to that music, and I don't know when you channel your inner Rocky. You play that, and you can walk better. You can walk faster. You got some motivation, and yeah, that really does work. It's funny you mentioned that because it does work.
Did I tell you about my shoes, Oscar?
No, what about the shoes?
Yeah, well, as long as I've known you, I believe you've only known me to be wearing the Nike slides that are so easy on my CRPS-ridden feet.
Yeah, your flip-flops.
Well, I don't call them flip-flops. I call them Nike slides.
But,
well, you can call them flip-flops. But as a
no,
Christmas
don't
gift...
get mad. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. We're having fun. Someone had specially made for me. It's called, the brand is called Brooks. I guess it's supposed to be really good for support and such. Size 14 and a half extra wide. And it's tough to get in and out of them, but... You know, I've been trying to do at least half days wearing these shoes. So I'm little
14 and a half.
14 and a half, yeah.
Your feet are that big?
Yeah.
14 and a half.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Really?
So it was a process just to get them made by that brand, but I'm told that it's supposed to help big time, and you know, maybe as time goes on, I could be a full-time shoe person again, or sneaker person again, however you want to classify it. I have the slides on right now, I'm not going to lie, because, you know, on the days when I have that CRPS extreme pain in my feet, I really don't want to overdo it, but on most days, I've been trying to wear them. And you know what's funny? It's almost like walking on... Oh, what's a good analogy? I don't know if Jell-O is the right word, but, you know, I'm an inch or so taller than I usually am, and I have to try and get used to that. It's almost like I feel like I'm in space or something like that.
So when you're now, are you still taking as much medication as you used to take years ago?
Oh,
I mean, I remember 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, you had like a drugstore.
Well, at one point I was on 12 Percocet a day, and for those that want to keep track,
Really?
prescribed, not, you know, nothing, not street drugs or anything like that. But no, I have a much more moderate regimen nowadays, thanks to the good doctor himself. And you know what? While the big thing is the steroid that I'm on. While it doesn't take away the CRPS pain, the one thing it does is it prevents the major flare-ups that I've had. And when I have the flare-ups, that's what usually leads me to the hospital. It can be a foot, it could be 2 feet, it could be a knee, it could be 2 knees. My thumb has had some strange CRPS attacks over the past year for some reason. I've had it in the shoulder a couple of times. But the good news is when I take that steroid, it prevents it from flaring up to be the size of a football. The problem I had before was I had a wonderful primary care doctor. I mean, the best, the elite, one of the best people I've ever met. And then he got so sick of dealing with insurance companies and all those scum, he went into education, I should say. And then his practice was taken over by this Indian woman. And then this fool thought I didn't have CRPS, as I'd been dealing with for years. She said it was gout, as if I sit around eating chicken and fish every day. So I had some major battles with this Indian woman. And the problem with this was, once we realized that this steroid worked, okay, I'm having an attack, I need the steroid, I'd have to call and book an appointment. And, you know, sometimes it would be a week, it could be a week plus, and my condition would worsen by the day. And I mean, believe me, the people down here in the studio can attest to, I would literally turn into an animal, like Lou Ferrigno when he turned into the Hulk, with the amount of pain I was in, as it would be getting worse and worse and worse every day, and the inflammation would be growing day in, day out, and so on and so forth. So now the good news is I have access to the steroid now. I have a little bottle of them, and when I need them, when I get the feeling that it's really going to start to explode, I take a few and it calms it right down. Now, I'm still in a lot of physical pain, but I don't have that inflammation that leads me to need to go to the hospital. So I'm very, very grateful for that. You know, it's not a great solution, but if when I was having the flare-ups, it was a 10, now it's probably an 8. So I'll take that any day of the week if I don't have to waste my time going to the hospital.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
And, you know, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just still tripping about how much Percocet you got to take.
Oh, I don't take any anymore.
Okay.
I have what I call an emergency bottle. If I am really, 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 really bad, I don't even know how many are left, but I'll take a Percocet or two at that point. But that, like I said, that's just an emergency. The one thing I found that really helps too is when I fly, because I have a really bad spot, probably an inch or two above my ass. When I sit for too long, the pain, it becomes unbearable. But I don't know if you're familiar with CBD oil.
Yeah.
That stuff, when I fly or something like that's almost like a miracle. Problem is, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get. If I had a brain that functioned and I kept track of things, I'd order it online in advance and have it shipped to me like I have had in the past. But there have been times I've forgotten and I've really resented it because, like I said, just a couple of drops under the tongue, it's not the best tasting thing in the world, but, it's natural, and it really helps. It really helps. The Percocet sometimes, like I said, I like to save what little I have just for an emergency when it's really, really, really bad.
Don't they have the CBD oil at GNC?
I don't know. I
believe they do, because I see posters for CBD oil in the window.
I'm going to write a note for that right now, right here on my wrestling notes that we haven't even begun to discuss yet. But
look into it.
Well, here in Massachusetts, I don't know about Georgia, but in Massachusetts, where weed is legal, they have these little dispensaries, and it's not too difficult to get. And like I said, you can even get it through the mail. The Godfather has I guess he called it a special strain. I don't know enough about marijuana to explain it, but what he has, I guess, is only legal in California. But I'd like to try that too if he has a CBD oil version of it. Godfather's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But with that said, folks, as we've talked about marijuana, CRPS, Howard Miller, and everything in between, why don't we take a timeout? We'll come back and we'll focus on what the show is actually about every Monday night after Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night Mission. We'll talk about some current events in the world of professional wrestling. Stand by. We'll be back after this brief timeout. Wrestling fans, on Royal Rumble Saturday, January the 29th, things are getting a little dirty. That's right. Joining us live in studio for the very first time will be our longtime friend, the legendary Zeb Coulter, a.k.a. Dirty Dutch Mantel. Dutch will be with us all weekend for Wrestling Insider tapings, Patreon watch-alongs, live episodes, and cyber autograph signings. Plus, Dutch will be watching the Royal Rumble with us. For more information and autograph photos, head on over to BostonWrestling.com. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans in the Northeast, discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling MWF Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s are on sale now. Jake the Snake Roberts, Axe and Smash Demolition, and the Berzerker are just 4 of at least 8 80s WWF icons that will be joining us live at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Mass. Saturday, April the 16th, there will be a VIP exclusive Q&A session. Autographs, pose photos, then the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will light up the squared circle like it's Times Square on New Year's Eve. Join us for a party to celebrate the legends of the rockin' wrestling era. Get the best seats in the house. Save now at BostonWrestling.com. We'll see you live on April the 16th. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Johnny, the momentum here in Boston Wrestling continues as we continue to build and build and build. The fans want to know, how do we help? We subscribe to the Patreon, but we see all the great merchandise on that set. Coronavirus may have killed the nightlife, especially for someone like Marty, but our acclaimed eBay store is open 24/7 around the world.
Wow. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insider's in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insider's Monday Night Mission. I'm Dan Marotti, joined by your host with the most, former WWF Tag Team Championship manager himself, Oscar. Again, Madison Square Garden was never the same after you nearly blew the roof off of it at WrestleMania 10. One of the great moments of your career, but a lot going on in professional wrestling, Oscar. Let's try and run through as much as we can with the time we have allotted. Today, as we speak, trending on Twitter is hashtag Free Ali. Mustafa Ali requested a release from WWE a few days ago, and he was actually turned down, which is surprising, considering how many people WWE has released that they haven't found the need for. Ali hasn't been on television since October. The quote-unquote internet rumor mill states that Ali had a major heated confrontation with Vince McMahon over a creative idea for his character. I have yet to speak to anyone in WWE to try and get the inside scoop on what's gone on, but to the naked eye, just a real shame. I mean, Ali was really hot. Ali was ready for a big push, and then he got injured right before the Elimination Chamber that Kofi Kingston won, and Kofi went on to defeat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35. Ali was in for a major push. Since then, he got tossed in that Retribution garbage, which was one of the worst gimmicks WWE has had this decade, and they really haven't done a lot with the guy. He wants to work. In 2021, he didn't work one house show match. He's not used on television. They don't even put him on the B shows that are on the network like Main Event. If they don't have anything for the guy, he doesn't want to be there. Why have that negative atmosphere? I guess is my thought process.
First of all, you working in an atmosphere where you could have all of your own ideas. First of all, no, let me back up.
All right.
First of all, you ain't big enough to have your own ideas. You ain't a Shawn Michaels, and to date, you're not a Randy Orton or somebody who's big enough to throw their weight around. And then you certainly don't go to Vince and argue about nothing, because all that's going to do is take you back.
Right. And that's what happened. He hasn't been on TV since October.
Right. Now you find yourself not on TV, and they're not going to release you. So it is their option to just, keep paying you.
Put him in purgatory.
Yeah, right. You're going to be like JTG. You're going to get a check every week, but you ain't going to be doing nothing else to really make a living that you was probably making before your ass decided to stick your chest out and jump raw. Because, see, one thing about Vince McMahon, his pride and his ego, he's going to show you he's Vince McMahon. He's going to show you he's Vince the man.
Well, go ahead.
So getting up in his face and arguing or yelling or voicing your opinion in an aggressive manner is a bad idea. Because, see, the one thing that all these cats seem to forget every now and then they get reminded, you have no leverage whatsoever. Not none.
And we've learned that. I mean, if you go back to last April, the April of 2020, almost 2 years ago now, they've released over 80 talents, many of whom would love to be there right now. Mustafa Ali certainly isn't a top guy in WWE. If he doesn't want to be there, if he just wants to go out and work, is it really going to hurt WWE if he's not there? I mean, they got rid of Bray Wyatt. They got rid of Strowman. They got rid of, some guys that had some oomph. They haven't done anything with Ali. It's not like they've really promoted his brand. It's not like they're really going out of their way to merchandise him. I don't understand at this point where they've gotten rid of so many. Why bother to keep him around? Do you think they want to do it on their terms? Is that it?
I'm gonna tell you why. Exactly.
All right.
They want to do it on their terms. The only reason that they not getting rid of him is because he want to go. Had he kept his head down and his mouth shut and waited for the next glut of releases, he probably would have been in there. But see, he didn't do that. He let them know that he wanted to go, so in their mind, he want to go and go to another company like AEW and make them stronger so that they can have somebody stronger to perpetuate their collapse or consolidate the competition even further. Now they're not going to do that.
Well, I tell you, I've never met the man, but he's a hell of a talent. I know he does a lot of great charity work out in his native Chicago. If I remember correctly, I think he used to be a police officer before he got involved in pro wrestling. So, he's a good egg. All I can say is we wish him success if he's ever a free agent. I know I'd certainly be very interested in having him in a Boston Wrestling MWF ring. I don't know how John Cena Sr. would feel about that, but I mean, just one hell of an athlete. You only get one run. You only get to be young once. So while he's probably enjoys those checks that he gets from WWE, I can understand the frustration that he just wants to go out there and live his dream and be a professional wrestler. But at some point, do you sit back and say, geez, does my love of the art outweigh the financial income that I'm making from WWE? Because I don't think he's going to get that from Impact or AEW or any other group right now. My opinion.
But see, the problem is he don't know that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has no idea, no clue. I mean, you got guys that want to expand their horizon, see if the grass is really greener on the other side, and they want to go and spread their wings and find out what's happening philosophically, financially, and, as far as where their talents could take them. Because obviously they're not happy with what WWE is doing or not doing with them, so they want to go someplace else. But WWE knowing this, they're gonna put the handcuffs on a situation, and they gonna run out the clock on your contract. I mean, it's not necessarily the dumbest move that they can make. I mean, business wise, I can't see a scenario where I wouldn't do it because it's not unsmart, to do that. So,
do you think? Do you think he made a mistake by posting it on social media that he requested the release?
Oh, yeah. A huge release. Because, see, when you tell everybody, then what they got to do is to save face even. They gotta show that, okay, he done told everybody he want this, and we going to show everybody that he ain't going nowhere. Had he kept it under wraps, and in secret, it would have worked out a whole lot better. See, a lot of these people in a lot of scenarios need to do a social media shut up because it don't help matters none in a lot of situations. You don't gotta tell the world your business, especially, again, I'm gonna use the word leverage, especially when you don't got none. Because then they're going to show you in the world who's boss. So shut up, and when Dewdrop get released, maybe you could be on the list at that time.
Do you think that the fans kind of rebelling against WWE and creating this hashtag Free Ali will help them? Do you think WWE wants the negative publicity that they're basically holding this talent hostage?
Nah, the more free Ali signs they see, the tighter they're gonna want to hold their grip.
Well, sometimes at the studio, the hashtag is free meals, but that's a different story for a different time. You want to talk about talents on the move, Oscar? One of my favorite people in wrestling. I think he's so creative. I think he's so ultra talented, but again, someone that maybe goes a little overboard on social media sometimes, but I think he's someone that speaks from the heart, that's very passionate in what he says. Lio Rush announced that he's going to be out at AEW on Valentine's Day when his contract expires. I think it's admirable that AEW has released only a couple of people for serious reasons since the pandemic hit, but they have such a large roster right now, so many talents that, in all honesty, they really don't need. But contracts are going to be expiring, and instead of releasing them, they're just not going to renew them, which is, that's business. It is what it is. That's how, a lot of professional sports work. But, Lio Rush lashed out against Tony Khan. He had issues in WWE that he took to social media for. I think Lio would be best to almost hire a business manager to handle all of his public endeavors, so to speak. But as far as in-ring, my God, he's almost like a video game come to life. And I know there's a lot of people that have a strong dislike of him. I think he's fantastic. I've thought the world of him since the first time I met him. Your thoughts on a talent such as Lio Rush leaving AEW when his contract is up, of all days, on Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, I don't think Lio Rush to be untalented, but at the same time, I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's not going to mean nothing, to be honest. I mean, Lio Rush is there. Yeah, he's talented, but AEW got way bigger fish to fry than Lio Rush, because he's in the, I mean, he's just in there. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
He's not one of their premier talents.
He's not someone they're pushing for ticket sales.
Right. He's not somebody they're pushing. He's not a media giant within the company, and whether he's there or not there, nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna care. So happy Valentine's Day, Leo. I wish you well in your endeavors. Your future endeavors.
Well, as I can see out the window here at the studio, we have a gentleman named Uptown who's enjoying a cigarette as we continue the Monday Night Mission. When Leo was here taping his studio shoot interviews with us, Oscar, I don't know if you're aware of this, even though you are the vice president. As you know, David Reese kind of assigned John Cena Sr. and I to be a talent relations, so to speak. Leo signed an open contract to compete here in Boston Wrestling MWF. Would you like to see him maybe in Pigottville at Memorial Hall?
Now, see, that would please me greatly.
You like the idea of that?
I like the idea of it because, like I said, he is talented.
Yeah.
So whatever AEW didn't do or WWE didn't do, we would have the good sense to put our heads together and make some plans for this young man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now, I believe if he play ball and we do smart business when it comes, I think that Lio Rush could be a leader and a real force in our company. And I think that he would make some good matches. I think we could put him in fantastic storylines. I think he would put asses in seats if we play our cards right and go in the right direction. And we could do what the big boys failed to do with this young man. See, that's the same thing that we could have did with Patrick Clark.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be touching the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark.
Touching Velveteen Dream. But what I'm saying is, before all that controversy, when he was hanging out with us, we could have did it. But okay, But that ship has sailed.
Oh, I agree with you 110%. Before he pulled that BS, and you remember that BS that he pulled with us with WWE talent relations, but now after that situation he had with the teenage boys, I don't think too many people are going to be. I think the dream is ended for the Velveteen Dream.
No, the dream is ended, but what I'm trying to say is...
He woke up from the dream and it didn't end so well.
Those issues did not exist when we had him. He was fresh off TV from Tough Enough, and there was a lot of win in those sales at that time.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I as much as I've jobbed him out over the past few years, when he was here originally, he was great. He had a good personality, good head on his shoulders. It looked like he was going places, but I don't know.
SmackDown together.
Right, we went to SmackDown together. That's right, yeah. And Leo was with us on that trip too, as well as what the hell did WWE call him? He goes by All Good Anthony Green. They signed him to 205 Live and released him, but oh geez, I can't remember his WWE name. Shit. It'll come to me, but he was with us. So in that car ride that we had down, when we met up with you, we had 3 guys that all wound up signing with WWE. And now all 3 of them are gone. It just shows you how quick the cycle can be. Because that would have been, August of 2015, I think.
Now that we have the information of when Leo Rush is leaving, let's look at the acquisition of
we need to rush to action, so to speak.
We need to rush to action because there are other people who are going to be looking at getting Leo Rush.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt the VP.
Do we have a slot for a female in this in the upcoming show?
You'd have to talk to John Cena Sr. I have no idea. I know nothing about the women's wrestling. I don't want to be involved with anything with the women's wrestling. But John Cena Sr. certainly would be the man to speak to about that if you'd like. Do you have a female that you've scouted?
Yeah, I got a fantastic one.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll give you, if you don't have it, Johnny's contact info, and you can reach out to him and maybe set something up.
Yeah, find out. I'm gonna talk to her. And then find out.
All right. Well, funny enough, speaking of wrestling, women's wrestling, I should say, what a great segue. Coming up at the Royal Rumble this Saturday night in St. Louis, Missouri, one of the entrants is the Impact Wrestling Women's Champion, Mickie James, who was part of Trash Bag Gate last year. The Iconics, the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, they were released by WWE. They are now with Impact Wrestling, like Mickie James. They turned down the opportunity to be part of the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. What do you think of that, Oscar? Do you think maybe they should have taken Vince's money, even though they're with Impact now? I think it would be good publicity for Impact to have so many of their talents, where WWE is lacking, take part in the Rumble. Well, what are your thoughts?
Well, the Iconics, I mean... The Iconics should have been gone a long time ago. I mean,
they were terrible. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Some people who are just around.
Yeah.
That that they don't do nothing. It's like, all right, the Iconics are going to be in a tag team match. This is a good time to go take a shit or make a sandwich.
Well,
or whatever.
Where WWE is having a hard time trying to fill 30 slots of known women for the Royal Rumble, which I wish they'd just do away with it altogether. Nobody cares.
Okay, well, I don't mean to interrupt you.
All right.
I am excited. Remember we was talking about last week? We was talking about, I think we was talking about women I think we was talking about something, but I am excited about Lita being back.
You're excited about Lita.
I'm very excited about.
Now,
Lita.
why are you excited? Not to be an ageist, but Lita's a little long in the tooth. I don't know what she has left to contribute inside the squared circle.
Okay, well, this is a good proving ground. We're gonna see what she looked like. But I thought that she was fantastic in her time. I think she still looks great. Matter of fact, to me, she still looked the same. I think she still got a lot of gas in the tank. For some reason, I really think that and believe that. I can't wait to see her Sunday in the Rumble, to see how she fared and see how she looked. And her performance in the Rumble is going to tell us a lot. It's going to be very telling as to whether or not she can stay around for a little bit more of a stretch.
You know what?
If she looked good at the Rumble, hold on. If she looked good at the Rumble, then she is good to carry the belt for a little run.
Well, I tell you this, with Sasha Banks injured, we had a big laugh about the big four matches that WWE told me about that they had planned for WrestleMania this year. With Sasha Banks injured yet again, believe it or not, Sasha injured, I've never heard of such a thing, but, we hope she gets well soon. If Sasha's out, Bianca Belair won the Rumble last year, and she's slated to challenge for the Raw Women's title against, what do they call her now?
Big time Bex.
Big time Bex. Becky Lynch. Maybe
Wait,
could you?
wait,
Whoa! What are you saying?
I thought Doudrop had that match
For WrestleMania? I'm talking about the WrestleMania lineup that we talked about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just so you know, Oscar, Seven is walking by the window right now.
Who?
Seven.
The hell is Seven?
Well, he doesn't have the best posture, I guess is the best way to put it. But anyway, you know what? I tell you this, with Sasha Banks injured, unless they want to do, I would be shocked if they had Bianca Belair win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if Lita wins the Rumble and then goes on to challenge Charlotte for the women's title at WrestleMania. I don't particularly want to see that, but, I could see that route. Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's, you know what? For the fans at home, that is my prediction for the Rumble. Lita for the women.
I would definitely want to see. See, I'm going to Dallas, and I had no interest in going to WrestleMania. I had interest in doing other stuff, fighting them crowds and all that kind of stuff like that. And it's just stadiums are just uncomfortable situations in most cases. But for this, I would probably go see that.
You would go out of your way to go to WrestleMania to see Lita.
Well, let's get some contingencies. I need to find a buddy that got a skybox, and so I can be real comfortable. And if I can get that scenario going, then yeah, I want to go.
All right. Well, do you have? Well, let me ask you, since we're talking Royal Rumble predictions, do you have a prediction for the men and women's matches?
Nope, I have no idea.
You have no idea. Well, for me, I'm going to go with Lita, and even though I kind of have inside info that I was given about those 4 matches for WrestleMania, I'm going to think WWE does the right thing, where they were going back and forth, whether it's going to be either Big E or Bobby Lashley challenging Rollins for the title. I'm going to hope and pray that it winds up being Bobby Lashley that wins. I don't think we need a Big Seth Rollins title match.
I would think Bobby Lashley would be a shoo-in, and the reason why that is because the reason why Big E don't have the title now is because of WrestleMania. It is not going to be exciting for Big E and nobody.
No, Big E. I don't think Big E could sell out Memorial Hall in Melrose.
No, he can't.
It's a different story for a different time. But and maybe it's a personal thing because Bobby's worked with us so many times in the past, and I think he's such a great guy. But aside from that, I just think from a talent point of view, I'd be much more interested in seeing Rollins against Lashley for the Universal title than I would be Rollins and Big E, which sounds like a match on Raw.
I'm gonna tell you.
All right, Tell me, baby.
My personal thing.
What do you got?
I just cannot get excited about Rollins.
No, he's been castrated since the moment he beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35. When they decided to go that route to make him Becky Lynch's boyfriend, almost, subservient to her, where she was the man. I mean, forget about it. Nobody cared. That's when they started canceling house shows left and right because the interest was so down. They gave the internet fans what they wanted at WrestleMania 35. Oh, we don't want Brock Lesnar around. He's not there full time. He doesn't deserve to be champion. It's Seth's turn. Well, they gave Seth the title. They put the women in the main event that nobody cared about, and it was a stadium that almost was like a funeral home when the show ended, when they did that triple threat match with the lousy finish when Bex got the women's title. The fans wanted Becky. They gave Becky the belt. And as much as I hate to say it, because I love Kofi, he was one of our guys. He's a good guy. He's helped with some of our fundraising endeavors, even in WWE. But the fans, we want Kofi. We want Kofi. We want Kofi. They gave Kofi the title over Daniel Bryan. You left WrestleMania with Becky, Rollins, and Kofi as the champions. And you pretty much could have flushed the toilet at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the truth. I hate to say it because I think the world of Kofi.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what happened.
What do we got
in basketball?
Yeah, you're a hoops guy.
No, not really. I just pay attention.
You pay attention. All right.
In basketball, when it reaches the apex of sorriness, when it just boils over with the same thing over and over and over again, what they do, or when a team is at its pinnacle, because this is what they did with the Bulls back in like 1996.
Mm-hmm.
They had Jordan, they had Scotty Pippen, they had Rodman, they had the Dream Team, and they would get rings in a row. So what did they do? They disbanded that team, and I'll never understand this. And pundits and coaches alike, from ESPN to sports radio and everybody else, understood this. Mm. And a lot of them was trying to explain it to me. I was doing sports for a big radio show at the time, so I would meet these people and have access. I remember
that. Yeah, that's what you did after you left WWF when you were with Men on a Mission. You did the Chicago sports radio.
They would try to explain it to me, and like the Electoral College, I still couldn't get it. I could not understand why they would do something like that. But yet they understood it, so understand this now.
Well, you know what's funny? I don't know if this...
I'm getting to something. Hold on,
I'm sorry.
Let me finish my thought. What the WWE need to do is what they did with the Bulls. They need to tear it all down, start from scratch, and rebuild. That's just my opinion. Keep people that keep the fans buying tickets and coming. Don't get me wrong, but they need to. They really so release happy. Release 3/4 of these motherfuckers you got, and they need to rebuild from scratch and make a whole new brand of products and build up a whole new set of people and go from there.
Yeah.
And that way, we got a whole lot of mystery going on because we don't know who's who. We don't know who's gonna beat who. We can get to grow to love a whole bunch of crop of new people, and then and then build a whole new society within the WWE. That's what I would do.
All right, well,
because all this seeing the same thing every week. I mean, it's gonna believe me, it's gonna catch up to you if you don't do something.
Well, I think just all the declines across the board is a great indication of that. But, Oscar, I'm getting a cue from the back right now. We're going to take a brief time out. We'll be back with more Monday Night Mission. Stand by. Wrestling fans, on Royal Rumble Saturday, January the 29th, things are getting a little dirty. That's right. Joining us live in studio for the very first time will be our longtime friend, the legendary Zeb Coulter, a.k.a. Dirty Dutch Mantel. Dutch will be with us all weekend for Wrestling Insider tapings, Patreon watch-alongs, live episodes, and cyber autograph signings. Plus, Dutch will be watching the Royal Rumble with us. For more information and autograph photos, head on over to bostonwrestling.com. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans in the Northeast, discount VIP packages and tickets to Boston Wrestling MWF Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s are on sale now. Jake the Snake Roberts, Axe and Smash Demolition, and the Berzerker are just 4 of at least 8 80s WWF icons that will be joining us live at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Mass. Saturday, April the 16th, there will be a VIP exclusive Q&A session, autographs, pose photos, then the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow will light up the squared circle like it's Times Square on New Year's Eve. Join us for a party to celebrate the legends of the rockin' wrestling era. Get the best seats in the house. Save now at bostonwrestling.com. We'll see you live on April the 16th.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over bostonwrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now, available on eBay.
At Night of Champions 2020, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns successfully defended the WWE Universal Championship against his cousin, Jey Uso, in a must-see battle. Here is your chance to own a piece of Roman Reigns moments before battle on this beautiful limited edition autographed 11x14 poster direct from friends at WWE. It's number 19 of only 50 made. Includes WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself, suitable for framing and matting. You'll also receive a bonus Legends autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out on Wrestling Insiders as our thanks for helping keep Wrestling Legends working. Get this ultra-rare Roman Reigns autograph poster now. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders Monday Night Mission. Dan Marotti along with your host, the former WWF Tag Team Championship Manager, Oscar of Men on a Mission. Oscar, there's so much news. We added one more segment to the show tonight. A lot of talk about NXT. Scotty Hotty, one of the coaches, had a lot to say on Chris Jericho's program about it. What do you think about the brand as a whole right now, Oscar? They were going head to head.
I'm going to tell you like I've been telling you for weeks. I don't think nothing. I don't watch it. Don't know nothing about it.
Why do you think it's the interest in it is going down the toilet? They were going head to head with with AEW.
The reason is Triple H ain't there.
You think that's it?
You had Triple H there, who was the most knowledgeable, pivotal person in WWE, in my opinion. Now, without his influence and his knowledge and his direction, where the hell you think everything is discombobulated now? And I'm not surprised.
Scotty said that the culture has changed greatly since Triple H had that episode with his heart 6 months ago. I'm not quite sure when that happened, but let's just say 6 months ago. But you'd think that NXT was going head-to-head with AEW each week. Some weeks, they'd come away with the win or they were doing a big number. Then they move NXT to Tuesday. And the popularity, you figure, they're not going head-to-head. The numbers may bump up a little bit. And it's gone down. It's amazing. On the flip side...
Again, I just thought about it. To add whipped cream to this ice cream shit show, And William Regal, didn't they get rid of William Regal?
Yeah, William Regal and Road Dogg got the axe.
Okay. Now you think about that for a second. You got 3 wrestling icons that know nothing, that know everything about the business, and then you put it in the hands of who?
Well, I mean, Matt Bloom is still there running things, and Norman Smiley, and
I don't even know who the hell that is.
Albert, Prince Albert.
Okay. Well, wow.
Well, I'm not saying he would have been my first choice, but
Smiley, I'm sorry, probably a nice guy, but when I used to watch him on wrestling, when I used to watch wrestling down south, I wasn't too thrilled with Norman Smiley. So if I'm not too thrilled with Norman Smiley's career in ring, what kind of confidence do I have in his leadership?
well, Terry Taylor is still there. He's still running. Shawn Michaels. I mean, you still have some quality people that are involved in the day-to-day training.
Okay, but no, I'm not.
It
talking
could,
about
but
the
you know what?
training.
I'll
I'm
say
not talking about the training. I am talking about who is in the helm at this damn program writing these shows.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know Bruce is getting his hand involved more and more.
Well, I hope. Okay, but see, this is the thing about Bruce.
How many shows can he produce?
Right, but see, no, that's not my point. I love Bruce. I mean, God, I could put Bruce between 2 slices of bread and eat them up. That's how much I love Bruce. Don't read nothing into that, y'all.
Yeah.
That's how much I love Bruce. Bruce is one of the funniest people that I've ever met in the history of my life. And I love Bruce as a person. But Bruce ain't never been no damn wrestler.
No, you're right.
So how much, Bruce to me is great at more of the business end of things. So I don't count him among a pivotal force of running how we run a wrestling show. I'm not either. I put it like this. I'm not either. You could not trust me to be at the helm of running nothing. Not as far as in-ring things and writing shows. Because I can give my opinion about stuff, but that's not who I am. That's not where I come from. I got ribbed because the people were pissed off because I don't come from a wrestling background, yet I got a job.
Well, I mean, it's a good point, but I think as far as getting back to the original point with it, are you surprised where AEW's numbers on Wednesday went up when they didn't have any competition? When NXT moved to Tuesday, the popularity has declined with no competition.
No, but that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. No, I'm not surprised because you got people who know good wrestling who are helping shape the company. You got Cody Rhodes. You got the Jackson brothers. You got Goldust. You got CM Punk.
David Reese.
You got David Reese. You got a whole bunch of people that know wrestling that can give their input and make that ship sail in a direction to the Sierra de Madre. Over here, you either getting rid of or you don't have those people and you putting the reins in the hands of people that don't know what the hell they doing.
Well, it's disappointing. I think at one point, if you go back maybe right before coronavirus, I would say NXT was probably the best show out of all the wrestling shows on television. And now to me, it's barely watchable at this point.
But look who was sitting on the throne.
Yeah, good point. Well, that's why we have these conversations. All right, well, do you think, what would it take for NXT to start to get its groove back, its mojo? Do you like the fact that it went from looking kind of dark and gritty to like a big rainbow of colors?
I can tell you exactly what they need to do.
What do they need?
It's real simple. You better get on the phone and start kissing the ass of people from the 90s and even the 80s and getting them in that company and getting them in the job and having them restructure some stuff and put them in the right direction, then you'll have a program worth watching.
All right.
It's as simple as that. Get some people in there that know what the hell they doing.
You heard it from the man himself, folks. What about Jon Moxley returning to television, Oscar? He was getting razzed by a fan that said, "Get that drunk out of the ring." And on an open mic in front of, thousands of people, Jon Moxley told him to fuck off. Do you think that was a little much for TBS television?
No, I don't think it was a bit much. I would have probably said worse.
What would you have said?
Fuck off and fuck your mama.
Oh, really? You would have said that over an open mic on live television?
More than likely.
Really?
I think that Jon Moxley being back adds to the already strong brick that they laying. I think it is good. I think he might have went a little too far saying that, but so what? We all gonna forget about it, if not this week, next week anyway. And I think that he is an extraordinary talent, cuts extraordinary promos, got an extraordinary character, and I'm glad he's back. And I hope that he got the help he needs, because I don't want to see him go down the toilet. I want to see him make good and do good and just be a powerful character in the company.
I thought
be there for a long time.
I thought physically he looked great. So the rehab, I think, did him a world of good. Hopefully he can stay away from the alcohol that was consuming his life, apparently. But interesting, I don't know if you came across it, Oscar, the article in the Toronto Star newspaper about the battle between WWE and AEW. WWE came back at the rise in AEW's popularity with that hot, young 18 to 49 male demographic. They said AEW, there was gory self-mutilation going on, which was similar to Vince's attack on WCW back in '95 when they started to sign Hogan and Macho Man, when Vince wrote an open letter to the board of directors, I believe, of Turner, when he said, I hope the stockholders hold you accountable for this unethically guttural, potentially unhealthy practice of the blood in WCW. I think that was his comeback at losing Hogan and Savage, and Nash and Hall would go on to leave a couple of months later. Do you think that WWE may be a little worried that AEW is doing great in certain demographics, that they can't get to view their shows right now?
I would be. If I was them, I would be really worried. Like we have spent about an hour talking about the problems within WWE. I mean, we weren't even comparing them. So with the problems that they're having, and with AEW doing things right, I would be concerned. And that's why my whole thing with WWE right now is I don't know what changes they need to make. I mean, but they need to make some changes. They need to make a cold, hard look at a lot of things. Madcap Moss is not a star.
Oh,
Boobs
please.
is not a star. Dewdrop is not a star. I mean, you got wasted slots. Well, when you re-sign Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn is a clown. He is not. He's not a star. The Miz that even lost all. The Miz is great for reality TV, and he's good for that comedy show he got with his wife Miz and Mrs. But he done lost all his mojo as being an in-ring performer.
Well, speaking of that, not to deviate from what we were talking about, but did you know that Majo Ouellette, the mother of Maurice, had some relations with John Cena Sr.?
Wait, who?
John Cena Sr. and Majo Ouellette.
Who the hell was that?
Maurice's mother on the reality show.
That John Cena Sr. is a pimp.
He gets around. We thought David Reese had a little mojo, but Cena Sr.
That John Cena Sr. is a PIMP.
He likes him.
Mad at him.
He likes him French, I guess. I don't know.
John Cena Sr. I'm gonna tell you, man. He keep his hand on the pulse and close to a lot of his son is John Cena. You know, he messing with the Mrs. Mother-in-law. I mean, you know, no wonder he got a lot of money.
Well, I asked him if she shaved the pits, but he didn't want to answer the question.
No, I'm sure he did.
You know how those Europeans are. But you know what? As we begin to wrap up the show, Oscar, I was actually going to mention something that you brought up vaguely a second ago. Of all the people to re-sign to a multi-year contract that nobody cares about, Sami Zayn. I mean, Kevin Owens was another one I couldn't have cared less if they lost, compared to a Fiend or an Andrade or an Aleister Black or a Braun Strowman. But now they re-signed Sami Zayn to multiple years. And, you know, WWE contracts.
I would have signed Kevin Owens 7-1 before I re-signed Sami Zayn. I'm just telling you, it's just a lot of moves. I'm not going to call them bad moves because I don't know. I'm sure they got reasons for doing what they're doing. But moves that I don't understand. You understand what I'm saying?
I would have rather have seen them kept, you know, quote unquote, some of the smaller NXT guys like Kyle O'Reilly. He doesn't have that, you know, cosmetic WWE look. But then again, neither really does Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. You know, if I never saw Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens in a wrestling ring again, I would not cry. I would not be disappointed.
Yeah, well, I mean...
What do you see in Sami Zayn? Do you think there's money in him?
You know, I read someplace when he got released, and I don't believe everything I read on Facebook, because a lot of that stuff is made up, but when I read that, I wanted to believe it so bad. I actually got excited. So, but no, I don't understand that. I mean, I don't understand it. Now they want to put him in an angle with Johnny Knoxville to promote this jackass forever. It's all just stupid.
Yeah, I can see a really bad skit or a really bad vignette at the Royal Rumble.
That goes to show you, you have got to dig deep into the trenches of dumbness, of dumbassness, to find something for him to do. So why re-sign him? Why renew his contract? You got to go out of your way to find something to make his dumbass do something.
He is what it would be referred to as hot garbage.
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, it ain't our money. I
mean, Owens got big money. If they gave Sami Zayn big money, I'd choke, considering some of the people that are no longer there. I mean, like I said, he is the personification of nobody cares. He looks like a garbage man, or he looks like his roommate is Oscar the Grouch. I don't see the appeal, but that's just me. I don't know. They didn't call and ask for my opinion, as I like to say.
You're right. You ain't gonna answer this.
All right.
But are you like a minimal stockholder? You have a pretty good position.
Well, I mean, I have WWE stock. I certainly don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars of WWE stock.
Okay.
But I have, I have enough.
Yeah, no, because Dreamy and I, we were talking about it over lunch. I'm like, he must have I'm not saying he's a major stockholder, but he must be up there because they do more stuff for you than me. And I take offense to that, but I'm like,
well, I have always stated this. I've always stated this. I developed some great relationships when I worked with Ed Cohen. I get to meet some, a lot of people that are still in the office now, many people that have been canned from the office. But I almost think they look at me as like, did you ever see National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
I think they kind of look at me as Cousin Eddie. Anytime they need a little mission done, if they need to find someone's phone number, if they need to find someone's address, they know if they can't get the simple answer. Usually, and I don't think I'm exposing anything, usually the go-to guy is Jerry Briscoe. If they need any information or intel on anybody, they call Jerry Briscoe, and Jerry Briscoe gets it or has it. If they don't have Jerry Briscoe, then usually they'll say, you know what, get a hold of Marathi. And then they get a hold of Marathi. But instead of that nice plum full-time job I'd love to have, they're very generous with things like merchandise and tickets, which is nice. I appreciate it a great deal. I always feel very grateful for the nice things they've done for Baby Marathi over the years with some of the great, merchandise and collectibles they've given him, which I don't even think he realizes what the value that he has in his bedroom. But, like I said, I feel like Cousin Eddie. There was a situation, was it before coronavirus or during coronavirus? But there were 5 people that they needed to track down. And they put me on the case, and we found out that unfortunately one of them was dead. So I guess, I don't know where the royalty check went to, as I guess they reached the $50 threshold and they needed to get the checks out. But unfortunately, George Wells was no longer with us.
Oh, this is what I want to ask you. Now, how current is the current encyclopedia, the most current?
I think they just released a 4th one, I think, within the past year at least, they've released a 4th one. I don't know why they released them so quick.
I'm going to tell you why I'm offended.
Are you not in it?
Well, I asked the guy, I said, and the guy who writes the books, I said, can I please get my own little section in there? And
they group you with men on a mission.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't say he'll see what he could do. He told me, yeah. He told me, yeah, basically.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a 5th.
Yeah, but I don't expect it because he told me, yeah, but, I don't know. For some reason, for some reason, this I could tell you this, and I could tell our fans, and even Mo would agree with this, and Mabel, I don't know what happened, and I hate to say this out loud, but I'm not gonna say that we blacklisted. But I will go as far to say that we blue listed.
Blue listed, all right.
And yeah, when I say blue listed, I mean you got some people on a blacklist where they won't even take their calls or they won't do nothing for them.
Right.
But I talked to Sue, and I was talking, had conversations with Triple H. At the legacy dinners, and they, and all that, and all that's cool. But Carrano would avoid me like I owed him money or something.
Well, the good news is he's gone, so you don't have to worry about him.
Well, I'm glad of that. But there was something just internally wrong because. We never really been invited to ever do nothing else.
Have you ever tried to talk to Johnny Ace?
No,
I think he's very cordial. I've had good interactions with him.
And, I talked to...
well, apparently not.
I talked to Carrano, and I asked him a couple of years back, if I could come to a WrestleMania Access, and do some rapping,
Yeah.
And the answer was just straight out no. And I'm like, what the fuck did I don't curse so much. What the hell did I ever do to you? Or to y'all? Or to whatever? And as far as our Hall of Fame dream, I don't never expect to see that happen. I'm just sorry. I just don't expect to see it.
Well, I think you...
I don't know why I don't expect to see it, but I don't.
I think you rapping at the Axis would kind of be a lot of fun, but that's just my opinion.
That was my thought too.
Because I've seen it at the Cauliflower Alley Club, and everybody has, they have a great reaction to it.
So anyway, yeah, I just wanted, just
wanted to throw that out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just, and if there was something that has ever been said or done, even if it don't result into nothing, I would like to jam. Say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whatever I did to offend.
Well, do you think maybe it's
half of Mo and Mabel? I'm sorry.
Do you think it's maybe a little residual heat? We have, Viscera. Mabel wasn't always the most liked guy. And then you had the situation with his wife being a pain in the ass after he passed away.
Yeah, but no. These situations or this kind of heat or this kind of semi-heat, this was long before any of that ever happened.
Oh, really? Okay. See, I didn't know that. Because you and I have only been friends since, 2014, I believe.
Yeah, all of this I'm talking about that I haven't felt this happened, long before that. So I don't know.
Well, I can only hope at some point you get a chance to rap again. Like I said, I would love to see you at a major WrestleMania setting, rapping in front of 80,000 people. I think the fans would go crazy. They went crazy, even though I'll say this, I really don't think Men on a Mission was a great tag team. There wasn't much there, but I think they had a hot introduction. Mabel had good size, so that was interesting. They were colorful, but your rap, I think, made the whole gimmick. And I think, like I said, I would love to see you at a stadium show getting to do a rap at least once. And I think the fans would go crazy. And I think WWE's eyes would really open. They'd be like, wow, okay, look at maybe there's something here. I mean, I don't know what role you could play on, even on a semi-regular basis, but I know your raps get over great. I know your raps are original and come from the top of your head. And I think, like I said, I think WWE would be amazed if they gave you the chance to have the microphone and do something, so some kind of a rap. What? I don't know, but
yeah. The thing is, though, no, I'm not looking for a regular spot. I ain't got the bandwidth for that no more. I really don't.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, and I don't think I told you this, it was. I mean, all my whole career, I did the WWE thing, and I rapped in front of everybody at every, arena. Never got to do a stadium show. And I never got to, I never got to make a record. But, Starch Moderates made that dream come true, before the end of Oscar, before my death.
Right.
To actually get in the studio and make an album. I mean, I wanted to do that. My last bucket list dream really is to do a stadium show of some sort, because through my WWE career, they didn't start doing stadiums till after I left. And that's the one thing I wanted to test my chops at a stadium and see if I can get that reaction, one time at least at a stadium. So
to me, the only thing that would
one thing I want to do.
To me, the only thing that would make that idea better is if David Reese was on the stage waving his hands like Mo and Mabel used to.
Okay, folks, with that being said.
All right, wrestling fans, I think that's the take it home, baby. We had a lengthy episode, but a lot of material to discuss. We'd love to know what you thought of the episode. If you're watching live on Monday night on the premiere after Monday Night Raw, share your thoughts in the premiere chat box on the right side of the screen. Or if you're not watching Monday night, if you're watching after the fact, in the comment section below. For my partner in crime each and every Monday night after those 3-hour Monday Night Raws, Oscar, the Man on a Mission, I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you next week. Until then, you and yours be healthy, be well. Good night from Boston and Atlanta.
Hi, this is Phil DeCesare. Thank you for enjoying tonight's Wrestling Insiders. Get early full-screen ad-free access to all our Weeknight Wrestling Insider episodes while helping keep Wrestling Legends working by joining the Boston Wrestling Patreon family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. You can directly help us bring you more great historical wrestling content 7 days a week to enjoy for years to come.